Welcome back to House of Cards. Thank you for joining us for another episode. This one is going to be a fun one because I really enjoy these cards, and specifically the commercials behind these cards. So you'll see what I'm talking about soon here. But first, go through the usual YouTube stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet, would love if you join us on the channel, get all the updates, all the good stuff. Click the bell icon. You know the drill. Like the video if you like it. And this episode today is going to be one of our check out this set episodes, and it's a really fun one because this set I just kind of stumbled upon, to be honest with you. I didn't know much about it before, say, 3 or 4 months ago. It's been out forever, and you will see how long ago here in a second, but it's something that I just really started looking more for, these kind of outlier sets that aren't your your typical Topps or Panini stuff or what have you. And I think these are kind of where you can find some real hidden gems that can be cool to collect, and then secondarily be amazing, profit generators if you're into the investing side of this. So you got to kind of, open your eyes a little bit and broaden your horizons to find some of these things. So let's go ahead and jump right into what I'm talking about. So around 1986, 87, in that ballpark, a young man named Spike Lee was asked to direct some commercials for the up-and-coming superstar Michael Jordan at the time. He was probably only about 2 years into the league when they started filming these commercials. And that was a pretty big deal for Spike Lee, who was basically unknown at the time, except for a movie he had just released. I guess a couple of Nike executives saw the movie down in Portland, Oregon, where Nike is headquartered, and they reached out to Spike Lee afterwards and basically said, hey, do you want to direct these commercials that we're going to be producing with Michael Jordan? So of course the answer was yes. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? I guess in today's context that'd be like being a no-name film producer being asked to direct commercials for Nike with Zion Williamson, or something like that. So it's a no-brainer. Anyways, so Spike obviously said yes, but the weird part was that Michael had no idea who Spike Lee was. So they had this really great chemistry in their early work together, but before that, they had no idea. Spike knew who Michael was because he's a basketball fan, but Michael didn't know who Spike was because he's obviously a pretty, low totem pole director at the time. So anyways, long story short is they got together. They came up with this great concept to create, this character named Mars, who Spike Lee played, and he actually played Mars in one of the movies, and that's how he came up with the name for this little quirky character of his. And side note, his grandma actually gave him that name because he was asking her for a name for a character that is kind of goofy and all over the place, and I guess she used to have an uncle named Mars, and he loved the name, and it worked right away. So it's a little side tangent there, but anyways, he started producing these commercials, and the agency at the time, the ad agency is Wieden and Kennedy, which is one of the biggest ad agencies in the world, and they've been Nike's ad agency forever. And obviously some of the biggest ads and slogans came from them, Just Do It, and all those forever legacy advertisements. Well, anyways, what happened was Nike decided that they wanted to create a set of cards based on these commercials, and they came up with this little 6-pack of cards that they had at Nike outlets and retail stores or whatever. Anyways, and their idea was that each time they did new commercials with different athletes, they were going to produce a little mini card set for each one, but it didn't really go anywhere. But the Michael Jordan ones did get made because they were the first ones, and this is what they look like. So if you've watched any of my mail day videos, you probably see me pull out, quite a few of these in my mail days. But these were the little packets of cards that you would get. You would have 6 cards inside. And it's just a little mini packet, a little seal here showing that it was not opened. And you would get this, and inside of it, you would get 6 cards. So I have one that is open for us to look at here. And the cards are in sequential order, so they are numbered on the back, and we'll kind of go through each one. And after each card I show you, I'm going to show you the commercial that correlates with the cards. So here is the number 1 in the set. This is Michael Jordan Flight School. This is actually one of my favorite ones. So you'll see on the back, they have this little slogan there from the commercial. Where do I sign up? You'll see who says that at the end of the commercial. It's a famous basketball player. But so this is the Michael Jordan Flight School. So let's go ahead and run the commercial now.
Yo, it's the Michael Jordan Flight School. Learn how to increase your hang time. Learn how to tackle defenses. Learn how to wear really great sneakers. Learn how to sign lots of autographs. Learn how to stick your tongue out during the game. Learn how to play golf during the off-season. Learn how to make the all-star team. Learn how to star in lots of commercials. For details, call us. Operators standing by now.
Michael Jordan Flight School, not affiliated with the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronauts. Void where prohibited.
Man, where do I sign up?
I want to star in a lot of commercials.
I want to increase my hang time.
All right, that was a fun one. Anyways, so there's the first one. Let's move on to card number 2. Never thought you'd see Little Richard on the cover of a sports card. This is the Genie one, which is really fun. This was done in 1991. Hilarious commercial. I definitely can't wait to show you guys this one. So without further ado, let's show that one real quick.
Yo, Mars Blackman, here with the lattice lamp.
I am the genie of the lamp.
You don't look like a genie.
I'm granting you just one wish.
What should I wish for? Do you know?
$1 million?
Nah, tax problem.
A new car?
Can't drive. I got it.
A wop boom!
Mr. Genie is all right.
I am the greatest.
All right. Isn't that hilarious? Little Richard, he's crazy. Anyways, this is a great one as well. I love the design of this. I love all the designs on these cards because they really did like take that kind of 90s aesthetic and just, slap it on the card. So they did a really good job sort of capturing not just the commercial, but sort of the vibe of that, era. All right, now this one is probably the most simple design out of all of them. This is from the popular Stay in School commercial that they did together. This was in 1991 also, so don't be stupid, stay in school. So yeah, these obviously stretched over a course of a few years. As you'll see, the dates kind of vary, but let's take a look at this one real quick.
Yo, Mike, do you know how you defy gravity? Do you know?
Yes, Mars. I overcome the acceleration of gravity by the application of my muscle power in the vertical plane, thus producing low-altitude Earth orbit.
Man, Money, that's some serious smarts. Where you learn that?
In school, Mars.
Mr. Jordan, do you have something you'd like to share with the rest of the class?
Yeah, don't be stupid. Stay in school.
Do what Michael Jordan says. Stay in school!
Another classic. All right, this one I think is probably the most attractive, I would say, of all the cards as far as the design goes. It feels a lot, kind of more in that sports card sort of look and vibe, and it's got, Jordan doing one of his, more famous poses there. So yeah, this one is from 1990, and this was the Do You Know commercial. Mars has a very catchy tagline, do you know? Check it out.
Mars Blackman here, my main man, Michael Jordan, and Professor Douglas Kirkpatrick of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Yo, Professor, how does Mike defy gravity? Do you know?
Michael Jordan overcomes the acceleration of gravity by the application of his muscle power in the vertical plane, thus producing a low-altitude Earth orbit.
Oh, what?
Do you know what I mean? Do you know?
Money, check him out.
Yeah, I love that one. So anyways, really cool card. This one has a nice white, front, so it's really easier to grade. But the backs are hard because of these black borders, so it just definitely makes it tricky. All right. Then we have the next one here, and this is from the High Flying commercial in 1989. So this one's pretty funny, too. I like this one a lot. Let's take a look.
Yo, this is Mars Blackman, and this is my main man, Michael Jordan. And this is a pair of tight Air Jordan from Nike. This is something you can buy. And this is patented, vicious, high-flying, 360 slam dunk. This is something you cannot do. Let me repeat myself. This you can buy. You cannot do this. Can. No!
Yeah, pretty cool. You actually have a picture of the Air Jordan. I think that's the 5. Maybe it's the 4. It's hard to see. It's kind of small. But anyways, really cool design on this one too. The typography, really like that. And then the final one is card number 6 from the set, and this is the Earth Mars one. So this is 1988. So this is one of the very first ones that they did together. So hilarious one, definitely iconic picture here. So let's take a look at this one.
The best player in the game is me, Mars Blackman, and I'm way above the rim, demonstrating some serious hang time. Very serious. Do you know how I get up for my game? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? That's right. Air Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan. Mike, what's up? Oh, money. Why you want to do that to me? Why you leave me hanging? Come on. I got it. Oh, Mike, man. That's cool, man.
Yeah, love that one. So good. So anyways, that is the 6 cards here that we just kind of went over. I'm going to kind of show you a little bit now more regarding the actual cards themselves, and not so much about the commercials, but let's kind of take a look at what the cards themselves are all about. So first thing I will pull up here is the PSA Pop Report, which will give us a quick snapshot of what in the world these things are doing as far as grades go. Obviously, coming in this little box, they definitely aren't easily kept in good condition because of the fact that there's loose in there kind of flopping around. So a lot of the times you have corner damage or edge wear. But here you go. Let's look at PSA. You got a total population of 608 graded, but only 115 10s. So you can see that's a pretty low percentage. Just trying to do my math, probably about 15%. So not very high PSA 10 range. 9s, however, are almost a 50%. So that's a pretty strong number. So odds are, if you get a clean pack that hasn't been, tossed around in a washing machine, you'll probably be able to at least pull a couple 9s out of it. But if you look at each one individually here, the Earth to Mars, the 1988 one, 82 graded. So one of the lower grades, only 4 10s in existence, super low. Only 19 9s on this one. So this one actually has a really low 9 rate, but the 8s are most prominent. So the Earth to Mars one, probably one of the harder ones, and I know why, because that one actually does have a really bad tendency to be off-centered top to bottom. So I've noticed that out of the ones that I pulled, that one is really hard to get centered. The High Flying 1989, this is probably the second highest graded one, and this was the one that I thought was pretty good looking. I think that one is I think it's one of the, like this one I said, I like the top typography on it. That one is that was not too bad. You got 66 9s, so that's 50% 9s, 28 10s, not bad. So you got as many 10s as you do 8s. So I mean that's a pretty good ratio there. And I think that, again, because that one doesn't have a dark border on the front, and the centering is hard to notice on that one because it is kind of a weird typography one, so it might get away with a little bit easier on centering. The Do You Know is the most graded one, and that was the one I was saying was the most attractive looking of them all. And 145 total graded, so that makes up a solid percent of the population. 51 10s, so most 10s out of any of them, and 74 9, so again 50% 9 gem rate, but the 30 above 30% 10 rate, so that's not too bad for such an old card. And then the last few, Stay in School, only 89 graded, so pretty low there. Only 12 10, so super low there, and more than half are 9, so that's good. The High Flying 360, so I guess there's 2 versions of the High Flying. I don't really know how to tell the difference between the 2, but there is a difference. But this one only has 1 graded at a 7 with a plus grade. So I couldn't tell you why there's a difference there. So I'm just going to assume the High Flying number 2 here from 1989 is the one that we're talking about. And then the Genie with Little Richard, 73 graded, only 7 10s. The reason why that one too, also very hard to grade, centering is an issue because it actually has a border. And it's the only one that has a border, so that one is very easy to spot if it's off-centered. So that is definitely why it's got low 10s and 9s compared to the other ones. And then the Flight School one, 94 graded, again 13 10, so again super low, but the 9's again almost half, so pretty good overall chance of getting a 9 on most of these cards. So I think it's it's a great set to get. That's old, when you're talking early 90s, you're talking 30, 50, it's a long time, 30 years ago. So definitely, something to look for. And I think, obviously with Michael Jordan's appeal and everything, it's hard to go wrong with these kinds of cards. Now that we've kind of looked at the population report, let's definitely peek at some of the the prices, because I'd like to know how much these things are going for, because I think it's always a good thing to know how much they sell for. So I have quite a few screenshots here of different sales and prices of the cards that have happened over the last probably, I think, couple months. So they're all really recent sales. They're not going to be from a real long time ago, but let's take a look here at what we see them going for. And some of these prices I pulled off of 130point.com because it gives me a true price, best offer accepted price versus the the eBay sold price, which is always different. So you can see here the selling on April 7th for $520 and a 9. So I pulled a lot of 9s just because I want you guys to see like a more realistic grade versus some of these kind of crazy 10 grades, which you'll see after a second. Here's another one that is the all right, there we go. So that is a PWCC auction that ended at $235. So this one's actually a low sale, which is someone got a really good deal, because that's almost half of what most of the sales go for. But sometimes when you have auctions, and sometimes PWCC bidders aren't super, like paying attention to these kind of cards, so you can get some sneaky ones in there. Here's one that ended April 4th for only one bid, but this was the stay in school, so went for about $300 in a PSA 9. Here's another PSA 9 for $500, March 29th. Here's a nice PSA 9 of the high flying one. So that one is that one did go on auction at PWCC, so that went for $365. So a little bit higher than that other one. And then here's a nice flight school in early February that sold for $489 in a PSA 9. So you can kind of see the PSA 9s kind of range from about 300 to 500 is probably a good ballpark. Now let's look at some 10s. Okay, so now these are hard to get. You guys saw the pop report. So here's a nice stay in school for $1,125. So this was a PWCC. So they definitely are looking at those 10s a lot harder than the 9s. And that was on April 18th, so very recently. And here's one from PWCC, also 51 bids. Wow, that was a really high bid. So another PSA 10 of the so great. And like I said, this one I think is probably the most attractive out of all of them. And let's look at one more here. And this was the high flying PSA 10, and it went for $1,500. So pretty crazy, plus $25 in shipping. And it sold on March 7th. All right, so you can see these cards obviously carry some weight if they're in high grades, and you can get these boxes, say probably between $80 to $120 if they're opened. You can sealed ones go for slightly higher. I don't really understand what you can do with a sealed one, other than maybe you just assume the cards are in better condition. Maybe PSA would slab a sealed one. I'm not sure, like they slab packs. So maybe if you get a nice sealed one, like this one's in really good shape as far as the box goes. Now let me show you one that's in really bad shape. I was trying to be sneaky, and I was like, you know what? I can get maybe I can get some cards in good shape, even though the box is messed up. But yeah, all the cards are messed up too. So go for the boxes that are in better condition, because you can assume the cards were taken care of better. And hopefully you have good luck and grab some cards that are in great shape. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Quick one just to kind of show you a fun little set that I've been enjoying. And if you want to check it out, they're readily available on eBay. So you can search, typically if you just search Nike, Spike Lee, Michael Jordan cards, you'll see them pop up pretty fast. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Short but sweet. If you haven't subscribed yet, if this video didn't do it for you, maybe think about it, but try it out. Try subscribing. You'll like it. Anyways, if you liked the video, hit the like button. And if you want to get updates on when new videos drop, hit the bell icon. All right, guys, that's all I got for today, and I will see you next time. Peace.